if you're feeling what they're feeling, which is an illusion, right? You don't get to feel what they're feeling. You're feeling your own
Yeah,
feeling.
exactly. Exactly.
But you said it well. If while you're in the session with the client, the content that's coming up, the experience they're having in front of you, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's like a dramatic or God knows what. If you get caught up in emotion, your emotions, mind you, but you get triggered by what's in front of you and you get caught up, it's already too late for me to give you advice, if you know what I mean. If you were in that state, it's going to affect your thinking, affect your state, access to intelligence, resourcefulness, all that stuff gets thrown off the hook. And I am assuming no matter what we say, you'll do the best you can with resources you have available in that moment, including the call you make, the judgments you make. All I know, you stop the session and start hugging them because you feel bad for them. That's a bad decision, but that's okay if that's the best you can do given your state, right? I'm exaggerating slightly just to paint the picture. Okay. So, as a big picture, the best you can do is to make a note for yourself. Like, dude, you were really out there with them. Like, and I don't mean compassionately, I mean empathetically. I mean,
Mm.
you were involved, you became part of the process in a way that's not necessarily serving them. Okay. But
Exactly.
the reason it happened is because you're unconscious. Use that opportunity to tell you what's going on within you. And if you remember that, you'll take it as a guidance, you'll take it as a blessing. You go, mental note, thank you, dear unconscious mind, for showing me that I've got more work to do. So you make that note, and then you be the next client, show up with the same issue, similar issue, whatever triggered you, right? So as you resolve your own triggers, let's call them, or unresolved stuff, you'll find yourself being so much more naturally being inclined to not do empathy, but to upgrade yourself and do compassion instead. So that's the
You-
difference. The difference is, can you stay unattached to the outcome? Can you stay compassionate rather than empathetic? Can you do the session without being, I can't say without being emotionally involved, but I can say without being emotionally negatively affected by what's happening? Because the moment you're affected, you're part of the problem, and then you're just not as wise or as resourceful as you could have been as a coach. You will make choices that moms would make with their kids, not coaches. If that helps as an analogy. So for me, it's like, what do I do with my state, with my emotions? Do I go there? Do I get angry and try to, I don't know, do something about it? Do I not care? Do I, all those options are in front of me. And I just can't justify the idea of adding more pain into this world. Because I reckon that us human beings, we are constant state of vibration. We are always emitting frequency outwards. Always. So whatever I'm emitting out is what I'm asking for, what I'm creating, what I'm attracting, I can say, what I'm praying for. For me, prayer is my state. It's 24/7. So if I allow myself to go into those states, I'll just ask for more pain and join the crowd. That's my attitude towards those things. So yes, shit happens, horrible things happen, and I can't help but keep my peace and not act out of panic, not add more madness around me. So from my family perspective, I'm probably representing some sort of anchor when there's always wisdom there, there's always logic there. That kind of thing is really how I explain. When they are affected, they come to me, drawn to me, knowing there's sanity there, comparing to whatever noise is going on in their heads. No difference to a client in front of you and they go, if you go with them instantly, you rendered yourself ineffective, to say the least. You can still do a great session, and but it's going to be a longer session, and you'll make decisions based on your, if I say emotion, I mean from the negative perspective. Simply, with the moment you're emotionally negatively affected emotionally, You go below the line, remember? Instantly, no access to brain, no access to frontal lobe, no access to your own intelligence that you have based on your experience. Never mind access to the intelligence. So you cut yourself from that, you act like an animal, you make decisions based on your reptilian brain that's kind of in the flight or fight mode. A real coach wouldn't operate from that place. And yet you are, that doesn't mean you're not a real coach. It means you're doing the best you can with the resources you have available. So what helps is staying in this kind of conversation, having maybe a guide, a mentor that can keep reminding you those things while we keep working and resolving all the triggers that you're coming with, so that where you're triggerless or polarities are neutralized. Nothing triggers you so easily anymore. You get to keep your wisdom on, your resourcefulness on. You just perform better in any area of life, in any moment, on any occasion. Anyway, does this, I think I went too far, but does this answer your question? Okay. For as long as you experience yourself as an empathetic human being and you take pride in that, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I want to do about that. But if you realize empathy in that way is not exactly the smartest choice around, and you're just hurting yourself, adding more pain into this world, operating from a not intelligent place, then you go, man, I wish I could stop, but I can't. It's stronger than me. Great. But you wish to stop? Fantastic. Let's resolve your stuff so you can become resourceful and start seeing things behind the scenes. Because when I see a client super torn, super deep, like emotion on, I don't see a problem. And I don't know how else to say this. I know it sounds very sterile, but I actually don't see a problem. My client in front of me is feeling emotion. He's feeling, he's thinking. System is working. He's right now experiencing guidance from within. It's a built-in feedback mechanism. It's a divine gift we were given. It's working in his body, it's working. There is no problem. If there is a problem, it's because they are unaware. In that moment, mind you, they could be aware of this when they are resourceful, but in those moments, they're seemingly unaware. They forget that this is guiding mechanism telling them, ouch, stop thinking this way, it hurts. Take Paul for a moment earlier on. What was the words? Poor me. How does that feel? What was the message of that feeling from his loving mind? Ouch, Paul, stop thinking this way. It hurts. But he can't see it in that moment because he forget all the training and everything I ever said before. In that moment, it's real. Poor me. So your brain kind of tricks you. It doesn't trick you, it's what it does by default. It creates experience of reality for you. And it's your level of consciousness, it's your level of awareness that helps you stay aware even in turbulent times. Because this happens only when you stop being aware and you go and be like an animal, not conscious human being. And there's nothing wrong with you when that happens either. We're doing the best we can with the resources we have available, and that's okay. You want more? You want prolonged resourcefulness? You want better quality of life? Talk to me. You don't want it, and you reserve your right to be the human being full of emotions and feel pain when others feel pain. Go for it, knock yourself out. No judgment. You can actually do that too. Hence the free will. I only show up when you tell me, but I wish I could stop. Is this making sense from the coach perspective? You do know we went away from polarities integration as a workshop. This is masterclass call.